Hi, everyone. So I just had a first and a really amazing evening. Um, to start off with, so my name is Jen, although some of you have probably come here know me as Fannie. That's my middle name, and it's my pen name that I write under. And a while ago, I submitted a piece, a short story, to a group, Write Volumes, a publishing group that was doing an anthology, just to kind of see if I could do a short story that was interesting and entertaining and that anybody cared about. I write a series, so currently I have two novels in the Cambion Writer series. The first one is After the Flesh. The second one is called Burn, and I am working on a third. But I decided I'm not a short story writer, but I like to challenge myself with my writing. So I said, you know what, let me give it a try, submit it to this contest. And they actually accepted it and published it in the first of their anthologies called Shades of Horror and Strangeness. So the publishers are building their platform, and they asked me, one of the things that they're doing is these one-shot questions. So they'll get writers together on a panel and they'll ask them a question, and we discuss our views on it, and then we have a discussion amongst each other. And I was asked if I would be willing to participate in this today, and I'm thinking to myself, well, it's not like I have anywhere that I'm going, thank you, COVID. So I decided to, and it gave me a reason to kind of get dolled up, semi dolled up. Um, and I had a lot of fun, surprisingly. I mean, I thought it'd be something interesting, but I'm not really a camera person because I don't always like how I look on camera. But I think I'm at that point in my life where I don't care. Well, it's not that I don't care how I look on camera. It's just, what, let's try something different. It'll be fine, is kind of my philosophy right now. And I had a lot of fun doing it. And it made me think that perhaps I could do this a little bit more, but I could substitute it. So by substitute, I mean that for the past maybe 8 months or so, on my website, fannypricenovels.net, I have a blog. And one thing that I discovered about myself is that while A, I like to write, B, I don't like to blog. Who knew? Writers, blogging. Well, it's not for me. It's one of those things that I have to force myself how to do. And I don't do it well. I think that's one of the reasons that I don't do it a lot is because when I read my blogs, I'm like, what is that? What are you doing? So I don't do it like I should. Um, and I thought this might be a fun way to blog, perhaps, or at least still get across what it was I was trying to do. So, what is it that I was trying to do, you ask? I'm glad you asked that question. So, the blog was called What's Up? And it was for people who are interested in reading urban fantasy, but are not necessarily of that genre. And, you know, for those of us who are familiar with it, we think, who doesn't know what a necromancer is or a cambion even is? Well, a lot of people, because it's not like vampires and werewolves and mummies where everyone knows it or has heard of it on some level. There are a lot of supernatural creatures out there from a lot of different cultures. It's very exciting and interesting. So I decided to start writing, what's so that people who want to read urban fantasy but do not really know a lot about those creatures can learn. And then that way they don't feel as lost when they're reading, not just my work, but other people as well. But what I do is I take the creature as it is in society and explain it. And then I break that down as to how it relates inside my universe, because it may or may not always be the same. The one that I was working on are dragons, and I have been working on them since I think November, and they have not materialized yet. So bad Jen, shame on me. But now that I have this, maybe it'll be a little bit more fun for me to explain it to you guys. And we both get something out of it. So, with that, stay tuned. Um, this is my introduction. You have now been introduced. And the next time I will discuss dragons, how they relate to, I was about to say the real world because, obviously there's dragon. Well, there is a Komodo dragon. So there are dragons in the real world, but they don't fly. And the ones in my story fly. But we're going to discuss dragons with Western civilization. That's not even a word. Western civilization and Eastern civilization, and then how that meshes in the Cambion Rider Chronicle series. And hopefully it will be entertaining. Hopefully you will find it entertaining. At the very least, you will learn a little bit something about dragons, just in case you happen to meet one day. You'll be able to have that elevator speech about what you know about dragons. So stay tuned, and I'll be back.